Let me show you this easy crockpot recipe for chipotle beef. It yields tender beef that you can use for anything. So I'm starting off with a 2-pound beef chuck roast, and I'm just going to salt both sides. And you want to make sure before making this in the slow cooker that you completely thaw and remove the chill. That does help for a more even cook. I had this in my refrigerator for 2 days and it needed to be used, so this is what I'm doing. Now I'm going to add cooking oil to a preheated pan, and I'm going to sear and brown the exterior of this chuck roast. And when it looks like this, you'll want to give it a flip. That is a beautiful deep golden brown color on the meat. I'm going to prep the other ingredients. Here I'm just going to peel whole cloves of garlic. I'm using 3 cloves in this recipe. And I'm going to roughly chop 1 large Roma tomato. Essentially I'm going to create a salsa for this. Here in the blender cup I'm adding half a cup of water. I'm going to add that chopped Roma tomato. And I'm also going to add 3 cloves of garlic, or you can add 2 if that's too much. I'm also adding a half teaspoon of whole cumin seeds and black peppercorn. I'm going to add around a tablespoon of beef bouillon powder that goes in. And here I'm going to add 1 or 2 tablespoons of chopped or diced chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. If you don't want this super spicy, 1 tablespoon works, but even with 2 tablespoons, it's not very spicy. Pinch of salt going in. And before I forget, I'm going to add a pinch of Mexican oregano, maybe like a 1/4 teaspoon, and I'm going to puree that well. And my beef chuck roast is nicely browned, so I'm going to go ahead and shut off the heat and just let that hang out until I'm ready to put it in the slow cooker. Okay, I'm slicing up 1 small yellow onion. You could also dice that. Here I'm adding the meat into the crock pot. This is a 4.5 quart slow cooker. Now I'm going to add the onions on top and pour over that salsa. It smells so good, by the way. And that's the only liquid that goes in. Here I'm adding 2 small dried bay leaves. Cover that with the lid. And I'm going to set this to high, and it's going to take about 5 hours of cook time. So today we decided to work on some holiday decorations for my kids because they like it. It's fun for them, even though maybe some of you might think this is early, but my kids think that it's fun. Okay, and this is the tree, and my little one wanted to be on camera for some reason. He's typically shy, but there he is. Okay, so I think the meat is ready. Remove the lid. And I did flip it once throughout the cook time, but check this out. It is super tender. And if you want it to go even further, maybe an extra 30 minutes, but this is good. And this is ready for whatever you want to use it for. Serve it over rice, serve it over potatoes, make enchiladas with this. You can even make this as a beef filling for tamales. But I've chopped a little bit, and I'm going to make myself 2 crispy tacos. And I'm going to dunk the corn tortilla in this rendered fat on top. And you're probably wondering why I'm making things this way, because today it was sort of like a free-for-all. I'm hungry, someone else wasn't, so I just cooked the beef and we're going to do whatever we want. So into a preheated pan, I'm going to cook that on both sides. Once I give it a flip, I am going to just add some shredded cheese. This is actually string cheese that I shredded. And I already chopped some of that chipotle beef, so that's going to go in. And now I'm just going to carefully flip that over into a crispy taco, or a taco dorado, or some people might call this a quesadilla. I don't know, but it's really good. It smells good. So I'm going to make a second one for myself. And this is going to be what I'm having today. This is kind of like an early dinner, late lunch type thing, but it's so good. Okay, one more flip, and look at how crispy that is. I love that. So this is ready, and that's it. That's the meal. And look at this, just super tender, flavorful beef and melty cheese and a crispy taco. So good. My eldest son, on the other hand, wanted ramen with this. And we have these kimchi flavor ramen cups. Here's the leftover beef. And here's the kicker with this. So my husband likes the kimchi flavor, but my son actually prefers another ramen flavor. And we have this bag of just ramen powder seasonings that we collect when we don't use it. So that's what's going in this. I'm going to put this for my husband. Actually, another trick for some of these ramen seasonings is you can actually flavor fried rice with it. We do that a lot too. It's so good. Okay, half of the pack going into this because it's just an individual portion of ramen. I'm going to save that. I also put the dry veggies in, and I'm going to cut some of this beef just with my kitchen shears. And again, this is just a free for all day, but I wanted to show you some of the things that we made with this delicious chipotle beef because it's so good. Tacos, enchiladas, flautas. If you want to use it for your tamales as a filling, double or triple this recipe. It's so good. I'm going to add a squeeze of fresh lime, and this is ready. And I'll show you what it looks like. It truly is another way to use a delicious, tender, slow-cooked beef. Chipotle beef is a favorite in my household, and it is so versatile. Like I said, tacos, flautas, enchiladas, and even tamales. Super good. So I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.